Hello and welcome to the preview show at the Corner Flag. It's a Friday and we are here to preview game week 2 of the Premier League. I'm Amog and joining me is Ronak. Ronak, welcome to the preview show. We are finally doing this. Game week 1 ka humne miss kiya because I slept.
Hmm.
But game week 2 we are back. Today we are going to discuss all the upcoming games, all the talking points, all the predicted
Just like
lineups.
United, you
Just
slept in game week one.
Fantastic, fantastic. See, if I am a true United fan, guys, that is my level of commitment to this club. मैं अपने जिंदगी में उनका ethos follow करता हूँ. All
Right.
right, you will not find a more committed fan than me because of this. But we're back here today. We'll be talking about all the games, and of course, we'll discuss some FPL also because Ronak is fucking good at FPL, man. How are you fifth in the Conflag League with 74 points, bro? I am like last almost with
I
36.
bench boosted, yes. I mean, bench boost paid off. It paid off, so I'm happy about that. But captain was still a 2 pointer. And it's थोड़ा और अच्छा होता था.
And I want to talk to you about this bench boost in the first week strategy, but we'll get to that when we get to the FPL section towards the end. In general, बता यार, like before we get into the things, क्या चल रहा है life में? What's happening?
Honestly, right now, though, not too much. Just work, chill, trying to get to the streams on time and trying to follow up with all my sports, Like, apart from football, I also follow a lot of UFC and tennis with the US Open just on the brink. So, yeah,
Hmm.
exciting times ahead.
Yeah.
Apart from that, like football, though, I'm like trying to. I was like very excited for it, but then United ka game week one was so amazing. तो थोड़ा डिप्रेस हो गया था
Yeah.
फुटबॉल को लेके
You know,
बट
जब भी फिक्सचर लिस्ट अनाउंस हुई थी, फर्स्ट गेम हल, सेकंड गेम इप्सविच, बहुत ऑप्टिमिज्म था ब्रो एज यूनाइटेड फैंस.
yeah,
बहुत लाइक इट वाज 6 पॉइंट्स तो गारंटीड है भाई अपने को.
100%,
बेस्ट
yeah.
स्टार्ट टू द सीजन. But let's start there. Let's start with United because United are at home to Ipswich. Second game against a newly promoted side, albeit Ipswich were in the Premier League fairly recently. Uh, it's going to be a lot of pressure on Michael Carrick, all right, because the preseason has not been great, and as we've discussed on this show as well, you can get away with a lot of preseason games by saying, "क्या preseason है, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? It's only about getting fitness up." But now that you've lost the first game, that too against Hull, that too 2-0, that too with that performance, now questions are being asked. Those preseason games are being analyzed. It is an opportunity for Carrick and the boys to set the record straight. It is Ipswich. Not that any team is an easy team in the Premier League, but the odds are heavily in our favor. I think the
Hmm.
game change is going to be that it's at Old Trafford.
Yeah, that's definitely right. And we saw it across last season. Our home form was considerably better than our away form, which is honestly troubling because we were away to Hull. I know newly promoted teams at the start of the season, especially, those places are buzzing. So it's a tricky atmosphere to be in. But what really surprised me was that we were back where we were. Like,
Hmm.
we've seen this so many times where there's just a lull in the team, and they're not able to create, they're not able to break low blocks, and there's a little lack of energy and conviction to kind of break through the lines and get a goal.
Hmm.
So that was really troubling, but I'm just hoping that that was a one off, and maybe just boys didn't wake up, didn't show up for the match. And it was definitely thankfully it's an easier fixture, the second one. Imagine we had like Arsenal away as a game
Yeah.
week 2 fixture after Hull away or whatever, would
Yeah.
have been catastrophic.
Yeah.
So I'm happy it's a comparatively easier fixture. And I just want United to sign some left back and hopefully another centre back. I know there's Zirkzee also, who's pining for a move
Hmm.
out of Old Trafford to I think Serie A. Is looking at Fiorentina, are in talks with him. So
Yeah.
maybe another goal scorer in the team. But the window's closing in, and I'm not sure where we are in the transfer market.
Yeah, the last, of course, transfer that we made was Carlos Baleba from Brighton, 65 million plus add-ons is, I think, what is the fee that was mentioned. You spoke about it in the last episode, Ronak, about why we went for Baleba. By the way, thank you everybody who saw that reel. That is one of our best performing reels, almost at 100K views.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just push us over the line. No, kar do na 100K kar do. If you haven't seen it, go to the corner flag on Instagram and see it. Ronak has spoken very very well about why we went for Carlos Baleba. But he's not going to be available on Sunday. He is only going to be unveiled to the Old Trafford faithful on Sunday.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
going to be motivation enough for the boys to perform well?
We've seen this many times before with Casemiro and Varane with an Old Trafford, walk in, and then we saw obviously Cristiano Ronaldo couple years back with the Old Trafford walk in. So we've seen it in the past. United like to present their new signings like that, and
I love
just
that.
kind of it gives a buzz around the place. Is definitely helpful. Also gives the player, the newly signed player, good welcome into the
Yeah.
club, with the fans singing the name, etc.
I
So
just, I honestly, like, in terms of the transfer window, because we've seen such an evolution of the transfer window from when at least I started watching football, right? So, pehle, matlab, back in like the early 2000s and all, it was just straight up news आती थी. There was no here we go वगैरह. Fabrizio Romano wasn't a
yeah, of
thing at
course.
that point, right?
Hmm.
तो वैसा कुछ नहीं था. You would just get a directly figure आती थी कि हाँ इसको sign किया है. Managers would directly talk to each other. Director of football वगैरह कुछ नहीं
Right.
होता था. The deal is done and the player comes, and then you have the signing photos on the website with the scarf. Like that was the player unveiling, right? But
Yeah.
since the advent of social media, these player announcement videos that clubs do, Sanchez on the piano and all that nonsense,
Correct.
ये सब के
Correct.
ये सब के जमाने में, like, this classic stadium reveal of a new signing was lost, and I'm glad United brought it back
Yeah.
क्योंकि वो
Yeah.
feeling amazing है bro.
Definitely, definitely. And एक नया signing आता है तो the whole club is, even the players itself are always, excited, looking forward to a new signing. So it's a very nice and very warm way to welcome the new signing. And I'm
Yeah,
all for that. I'm obviously all for that. But talking about signings, United, I don't know, man, where we stand at. We obviously were in for Barcelona left back Balde,
yeah,
but I think he just kind of decided he wanted to stay put and fight for his place with Jao Cancelo there also. But yeah, it just seems bleak. And like United wanted Lewis Hall. It was quite apparent that Lewis Hall was one of our top targets.
yeah,
But I think now we are in a situation where Newcastle have obviously dug in and they're not willing to sell Lewis Hall. If they do end up saying yes, it would be an astronomical figure, which we don't see United doing.
yeah,
And there's somewhere a feeling that in United that we'd be able to get Lewis Hall next summer. So they don't really want to invest too heavy in a left back right now, and they're looking for short term solutions, preferably a loan to buy or something like that. And
yeah,
it's just going to be in the opportunities on the market where United actually end up going.
yeah,
But yeah, I just hope we get someone in, man, someone of quality. And we obviously saw that Shaw can't be the left back we want. Dorgu is more of a left wing back. We've spoken about this issue, at length before.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, I just don't know where we go from here.
I mean, Shaw is apparently also injury prone, like we know in his career, but he's now moved on to injuring other players because if rumors are to be believed, he put a water bottle on the floor on which Ahmad slipped and injured his hamstring. I don't know how much of it is
Really?
true. Yeah, I don't know
Ah,
how much of it is true, but that's what the rumors are suggesting is the reason for Ahmad's injury. So Ahmad is also not going to be available for this game by the looks of it.
hmm.
But just going back to the left back situation with Balde from Barcelona, I feel like there might still be a move that United can make because uh, he is not a player who is in Hansi Flick's plans for the season. Very clearly, they've signed Joao Cancelo again, and he is obviously going to be first choice. Now, what I'm hearing is that they need to offload a player to register Cancelo or register one more of their players or something because that is always the problem with
The issue.
Barcelona, right?
Yeah.
Admin issues तो हमेशा ही है बार्सिलोना में. They
Right.
just stockpile players without thinking about registration कैसे होगा. So
Hmm.
they need to offload a player. So here's where we stand, right? Like they need to offload a player. They know that Balde is not going to be their first choice. This is a
I
great
think
opportunity for United
United
to
checked
go for a
all
loan
the
to buy.
points. United checked all the points with Barca. Barca were willing to sell. United
Hmm.
were willing to make this purchase, even though it was not a 25-35 million transfer. It was a 45 million plus transfer.
Hmm.
United were even exploring a loan with an option to buy, like we did for Ashford with them.
Hmm.
But the reality was that Balde himself wasn't too keen on moving out of Barcelona. He's been at the club since he was 7 years old. His family is there, his life has been there, and he does have a contract with Barcelona. Even though Barcelona would be happy to sell him
Hmm.
because they have two other left backs in the club. One's a
Yeah.
fairly young left back, and the other's
Yeah.
obviously Joao Cancelo. But Balde himself doesn't want to leave, and we know United in the recent times since Ineos have come in that they definitely go off on a deal when the player doesn't show the interest
Yeah.
that they would like from the player to sign for Manchester United. So I don't see the deal happening. If some by some hook or crook they're able to convince Balde and he's ready to move, then I think the transfer happens. But I think Balde, the player himself, if you're not able to agree terms, then there's no point in pursuing the player.
Yeah, yeah. Is there anybody else in that left back position that you can think of who can fill that role? Because you know,
So
what are the somebody called Sergio Reguilon? What is he doing?
So exactly, like Fabrizio in his recent videos actually quoted the whole Sergio Reguilon deal that United might be looking at something of the sort again, like a short-term solution, and maybe go in for Lewis Hall later. Uh, you know, Out of the several sources like Ben Jacobs and Fabrizio, it is known that more than United going out looking for left backs, players agents across the world know that United need a left back, and a lot of left backs have been offered to United, like
Hmm.
Salinas, like Raum from Leipzig,
Hmm.
so and also Anthony Robinson from Fulham.
Fulham. Hmm.
And all of these United have looked into, and they might be deals that we could do, but United are not convinced across any of them to really pull the trigger, or not haven't been convinced up until this point.
Yeah.
So these are some of the names I've heard, on the left back spot for United. I would honestly like Raum from Leipzig. I think he's a good creative left back, has a good left foot on him. I think he could be a decent addition. I'm not saying he's the best left back and we should just go and sign him for whatever, but I think he
Hmm.
could be a good addition. And I think he has a 30 million release clause, which obviously Omar Berada
Loves.
loves.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're looking at more short-term solutions and
Anthony
not really
Robinson
sure.
might be interesting though. Anthony Robinson has Premier League experience. He's played well for Fulham.
It checks all the boxes, but I don't think Fulham would be willing to let him go this late into the window. Had we actually thought about him as a first choice left back for us and pulled the trigger maybe a couple weeks back, we would have gotten it done. But I don't know. They're definitely
Right.
not loaning him to us. Like that's just not happening. He's their first choice left back.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. In terms of Baleba, also let's go back to the shiny new signing that we have. Baleba is a very strong central defensive midfielder. He's a similar profile to Casemiro in terms of breaking the play and starting attacks. He's also very quick on the ball.
Hmm.
He loves to drive forward as well. He adds that extra zing in that midfield that United really needed
Hmm.
for a while.
Yeah.
He's he's going to be, I feel, very important for this midfield and the stability of this midfield. But again, the questions arise: what does that mean for Kobe Menu? Because for United fans, Kobe Menu ka injustice jo ho raha hai is the biggest injustice that has ever happened to a United player, and I honestly don't understand it because he's a very talented player, no doubt. But something has to be the issue, na? Like if Tuchel also doesn't want to play him in the World Cup for England, and multiple managers are also not considering him as a starter for United. Kuch to hoga. So, like, don't you think
Hmm.
that fans should kind of take that into consideration before
So
going on the Kobe Mino hype wagon?
when I absolutely love Kobe Mino. Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, me too,
way
me
too
too.
partial for him, and I think he's the best midfielder we've got and has the potential to be one of the best midfielders in the upcoming years.
Yeah.
Having said that, when he was starting to get sidelined by Ruben Amorim. And there were quotes flying by Amorim that he's maybe not the best trainer, and there might be some attitude problems there. I At that point in time I was all for Amorim benching Menu, because if that's what the manager thinks is the right thing, and if
Hmm.
he's obviously seeing Menu way more than I'm seeing him, and there's
Yeah.
obviously something that he's seeing that he doesn't think is right. Uh, Obviously, uh, there's obviously a player there. So I don't
Yeah,
100% agree with Amorim to completely sideline him. Should have been a plan to
yeah,
integrate him into the team better, and that is what Michael Carrick did. Now, having said that, he's still just 20, 21 years of age. He doesn't need to be the starting central midfielder for Manchester United over 60, 70 games in the season.
yeah,
So if you're looking at midfield depth, I think now we're at a place where we actually have good midfield depth, where we have 4, 5 good players, vying for two positions, and that is exactly how it should be. Your squad depth needs to be of quality. That is when you have competition for places. You don't need to have two good midfielders and then rest all are just crap. And on the off chance when someone is injured, you're not able to play the same level of football. So I think that situation is sorted now, and Menu now has to take it upon himself to add more things into his game that he becomes undroppable for
mm,
Michael Carrick. If we know he can hold up the ball, we know he's good on the feet, we know he has a pass in him and has a dribble in him.
yeah,
So now the idea is to just be more consistent and keep getting better. Like one of the things that Declan Rice does is you'll never see him have a stinker.
mm,
He is always either a 7 or above, and that is what makes you a 100 million player, and that is what helps you win leagues, and that is what makes you a stalwart in a high flying team.
yeah,
Like when you think of Arsenal midfield, the first name is Declan Rice. There's a reason behind it.
yeah.
So, I think consistency is where Menu really needs to, tighten up. And I think there will be uh, time. And obviously, he's being coached by Michael Carrick, one of the best midfielders
Yeah,
United has seen. And he knows how to, actually make it happen in the Premier League. So I'm sure Menu's in good hands.
yeah. RBNR has asked in the chat, is Menu the Rashford 2.0? I hope not. I
I really
really
don't
hope
think
not.
so. I don't think so because, first of all, no, they're very different profiles. Like with a winger, you really judge them on the goals and the assists and the output they are able to provide.
Mm,
With a midfielder, it's a very different thing. They have to really mess up, like they have to, misplace a pass, or they have to lose possession, or they have to not press the midfielders of the opposition team to really be called out. Especially a holding midfielder like Meno. I don't know if he's a holding midfielder, he's a 6 or an 8. Like it's on him where he wants to kind of integrate into the team.
yeah.
But I think there's definitely a player there, man. Like there's no two ways about it. It's just on him and on Carrick to kind of integrate him into the team. And how much does he make that spot his own? Like if you saw in one of Rooney's latest interviews with the United stand, he was talking about how he himself, Rooney, who's obviously one of the greatest strikers of United ever, our top goal scorer, he himself said that in tougher games, like in games like Arsenal, where he knew that Arsenal are a possession-based team, and they're going to have to defend and hit them on the counter. He said he before even the game came, and before Sir Alex Ferguson could tell the team sheet, he knew he would be put out wide or put in the midfield to kind of help track back and put in that dog work because he was so good at that.
Yeah,
And then obviously he said that United would kill teams on the counter. We were able to hold our defense strong, we were able to press strong,
yeah.
and then we would kill them on the counter, and we've seen that multiple times against Arsenal itself. So it is literally, you have to build a spot for yourself in the team. So
I have an interesting theory, right? And I feel like maybe this is something that Carrick is already thinking of, but I would really like to say, and I know that he's a slightly different profile, but because he's young, I feel like Kobe Manu can be cultivated and trained into being the long-term successor to Bruno Fernandes because we know that Bruno's not got too many years left in him anymore. Right,
hmm,
he has been a talismanic player for United. He's our captain. He's the creative focal point of this team. Right, everything goes through him. He is undroppable, and he will be a huge miss for us when he decides to move on, whenever that is.
hmm,
Uh, and I feel like Kobe Manu, with the technical ability that he possesses, with just the ease of possession that he has, can be cultivated into the long term successor. But it's just that he needs to be told of this plan. He needs to buy into this plan. He needs to bide his time in order for this plan to succeed. And The only optimism that I have is, like you said, Michael Carrick is coaching him now. Michael Carrick is also one of the best midfielders that England has seen. So he comes with that experience. He comes with the experience of playing for Man United for many many years.
Hmm.
Hopefully, he is the man who can make that happen for Man.
Yeah, yeah. So one thing is like, I personally don't see Menu as a 10 so much as an 8. Like I don't want Menu to be a 6 which is just holding,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
being the
yeah,
anchor in front of the defense, because he's way too good for that and way too
yeah,
technically gifted to be just there. You
yeah,
want him as a box to box, you want him to plug in the gaps uh between the defense and the attack, and make that late run into the box, be lurking outside the box, take shots, dribble past one or two players, and that comes for an 8 only. But
yeah,
with such profiles, it is very very important to have the legs,
yeah,
to have the industry to keep running box to box, because that's literally what the profile asks you to do. So uh, it's on Menu to figure out what his best position is, and how to cultivate himself.
yeah.
And I think, if because he's a player of such quality, he needs to really roll up his sleeves and just be that I'm so good, I cannot and I should not be dropped, and I'm going to give the manager exactly what he needs, so that there's no way he's taking me out.
Here's hoping that he can do that. Right, let's move on to Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest tomorrow at 5 p.m. Liverpool have pretty much, I don't know if they have announced it, but pretty much confirmed the signing of Bradley Barcola
Yeah,
from
yeah, it's a
PSG.
here we go. Yeah.
Yeah, Charles has said forward line now has 300 million plus signings. Title तो अब Liverpool's to lose है ना भाई लोग. If only big name signings guaranteed you a title. Not anymore with the new rules, the financial fair play rules that the Premier League has. Man City got away with it for the first few seasons under Abu Dhabi money, but now it is not the case. But yeah, man, Bradley Barcola, is he going to be another Florian Wirtz? Ronak?
I don't think so. I don't think so, because obviously very different profiles. Florian Wirtz is a 10, and we've seen it with Di Maria in the past, where it's a player who is not physically the strongest, but obviously very gifted,
Hmm.
can not have the best of time in the Premier League, because it's
Hmm.
just the league is so physical.
Yeah.
And like, for instance, like Bruno is not the fastest, he's
Yeah.
not the strongest, but he's tenacious.
Yeah.
He knows what needs to be done, and when a
Yeah.
tackle needs to be put in, he'll put all his heart
Yeah.
into the tackle as well. So that is why Wirtz has kind of had a difficult time in the Premier League. But you obviously know there's a brilliant player there. Talking about Barcola, I think he has all the physical attributes to succeed in the Premier League. He's fast, he's technical, he does have a good shot in him, and he's fairly tall as well. So I think he'll be a great signing for Liverpool.
My hot take is he's going to be fucking bullied. He's going to be
Really?
bullied by Premier League defenders. I'm telling you, उसको फटके पड़ने वाले हैं. उसको ऐसे फटके पड़ने वाले हैं जैसे क्रिस्टियानो रोनाल्डो को पड़े थे when he first joined from Sporting Lisbon as this gangly teenager, right? And of
Hmm.
course, then he went on to become Ronaldo. I hope that does not happen in Barcola's case at Liverpool, because that would be fucking very very bad for us as United fans. But I feel उसको फटके पड़ने वाले हैं. Like he's going to get a rude awakening to the Premier League, and I'm only saying this because yes, he's a very, very gifted, very, very technical, very, very talented player. He'll be a joy to watch for sure.
Hmm.
But it's a big leap from the French league, even if you're playing for PSG to the Premier League. Like
No, 100%.
it,
And
it every game is a life or death situation,
yeah.
and I don't think he's
Yeah.
going to have a great first season.
It's funny you say that, because I just don't think we have enough information yet. There's The whole team is in flux, from positions, the starting 11, to the manager and the kind of football they're playing. It is
Hmm.
definitely not the Liverpool of Klopp's time. It is definitely, I don't know what was the Liverpool of Slott's time,
Hmm.
but now this is Iraola's time. And if his Bournemouth team was any indicator, you can expect the team to be more defensively solid and very good in transition, in attack,
Yeah.
in countering and keeping the ball. And I think they have the players to achieve that kind of a gameplay. In terms of Barcola specifically, I think it might be a bit difficult to kind of adjust to the physicality of the Premier League, but I don't think he'll have that hard a time. I think he might just do well.
I'd be very surprised if he hits the ground running at Liverpool under Iraola, because like I said in the last episode as well, I don't think Iraola is going to do too much in his first season.
Hmm.
I think it's going to be a very painful season for Liverpool fans under Iraola. And again, I'm saying this only by going by what his Bournemouth team and his Bournemouth stint was like.
Hmm.
So I feel like it's not going to be a very happy season for Liverpool. To start off with, of course, again, first game, Newcastle saved by a last minute penalty. We
Yeah.
got the point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nottingham Forest at home, again, they're in a similar situation as United, where they're playing the second game at home. So Anfield is going to be up and pumping for this fixture, first game of the season at home for them.
Hmm.
That might take them over the line, but like you said, like this is a team in transition. This is a team where a lot of things have changed. Not overnight, obviously, but a lot of things have changed, and uh, major things, like almost like the spine of the team has changed over the course of a season, right?
100%.
And that's not going to be easy for Liverpool to kind of recover from immediately in the next season. It's not going to be as seamless a transition from Klopp to Slot, for example.
Hmm.
It is going to be a tougher job for Iraola to do this. But and in front of them in this fixture is Nottingham Forest, and Nottingham Forest are also not,
Oliver Glasner's Nottingham Forest. I love that
exactly,
manager. He is
exactly.
an absolute top class manager. He knows how to get the results in. So he's definitely. I mean, Liverpool are definitely in for a tough second fixture. And right now, honestly, there's not too much information to predict how Liverpool will be and what it will be.
Hmm.
No one would have predicted when Slot just came in opening, first game week of the season, that he's going to win the Premier League in his first season.
Yeah.
No one would have expected him to get sacked the very next season. And it's just uh, it's on the players how they kind of take it up, because we've seen they have the players of quality now. They've obviously added Barcola. They've got Victor Munoz, who's a new signing. He's young, but he's very good.
Hmm.
They've obviously have Isaac. They have Ekitike, who's injured. They have Florian Wirtz. They have Shabozlai, who's like a stalwart across the team,
Hmm.
forever playing, never injured, which is I love that player.
Yeah.
And they've got a decent defense as well. I mean, the right back spot is a little iffy, but they've got a decent defense. And yeah, I mean, we just have to see. Honestly, I love Gravenberch also.
Yeah.
What a brilliant player. So they have the team there. Every single position has quality. So I can see them doing well, but I can also see them doing worse, because we've seen them
You mean
really messing up hard over the last couple of seasons. So
you
yeah.
see them doing words? We have to make the word spun. Like word spun has to happen
Yeah.
every single time. Like how many teams in FPL are called words case scenario or some
Yeah.
form of word spun, right? Like it's
Yeah.
the easiest thing to do. What words player in the Liverpool squad? Right. Let's go to Chelsea versus Brighton, 6:30 p.m. tomorrow. Chelsea played the late kickoff, of course, the late fixture in game week 1, so we didn't cover it in our review show on Monday. But fucking fantastic game, West London derby, 3-1 up. Fulham tried to come back, ended 3-2. Uh, lots of points to make Chelsea fans very happy. Xabi Alonso era seems to be up and running. It seems to be a very refreshed Chelsea squad. Cole Palmer back to his best, which
Yeah.
can only mean happiness for Chelsea
Yeah. Like, I
and
mean, it's
FPL and FPL players.
100%. Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, Palmer, when Palmer is flowing, he's a joy to watch. I
Yeah,
hate that he plays for Chelsea. I would have loved him at United, like, absolutely loved him at United. But he's a joy
United
to
fan also, no?
watch.
He's a United fan.
Yeah, he was childhood United fan. So I would have absolutely loved to have him, don the red of Manchester.
Yeah,
But, but I mean, coming back to Chelsea, their attack is so fluid, with Rogers out the left, with Joao Pedro suddenly in the form of his
yeah,
life. Over the last year also, he was really good. It
yeah.
was a shame he didn't get called up to the Brazil squad. It was an absolute shame.
Exactly. I feel
Yeah,
like, I mean, taking Igor Thiago over Joao Pedro for the World Cup squad
I mean, serves them
just
right.
proved it serves them right. It proves
Yeah.
also that Carlo Ancelotti, Don Carlo, as legendary a manager he is, थोड़ा बुढ़ा सटिया गया टाइप फीलिंग हैड हैपेंड. Like थोड़ा like
Yeah.
uncle's retirement का सोचो, pension fund is up and running, sir. Please think about it.
I just
Was
don't
like
understand what case they would have made for Joao Pedro to not be taken to the World Cup. It was a
Neymar.
no-brainer.
I think the case was called Neymar. I think Neymar was like, देखो मेरे को एक last World Cup खेलने का है, तो
अरे
तू
बट
मेरे को
किसी को
लेके जा.
भी निकाल दे यार, जॉ पेड्रो को कौन निकालता है? बट एनीवे, आई मीन विद द सीजन ही हैड, like maybe 3 seasons back you don't take Joe Pedro to the
Yeah,
World Cup, but after last season you had to take him.
yeah,
And
yeah,
the only thing good that has come out of that is for Chelsea, that he's
yeah.
had a complete rest across the summer
He's at a
and he's
complete
going to
rest, and
absolutely ball out.
he's fucking motivated also. No, he
Yeah,
has a point to
yeah,
prove now, not just to
yeah,
Chelsea fans but to the world. He has a point to prove that he is the future of Brazil's attack, right? Because who
100%.
else is there right now, right? Like we talk about the Brazilian football team of the 2000 with the Ronaldos and Ronaldinhos, that lethal fucking Brazilian team, and they've just not managed to generate that profile of a player since then,
Yeah,
right? Like when you think of Brazil
yeah.
from that time, it was all fucking flicks and tricks and samba football, joga
Joga
bonito type
Bonito. Yeah,
situation, right? Uske baad matlab the kind of players like Igor Thiago, case in point, Igor Thiago is not a Brazilian player. He is a Brazilian made to order Premier League player. Like
I
Brazil has, like, haven't you figured this out? Like it almost looks like the academies in Brazil are seeing what is happening in Europe and the Premier League predominantly, and they're like, हम ऐसा player generate करेंगे जो
only
उधर जाकर
wingers.
successful. हाँ, only wingers,
Only
or just like fucking, no, it's not just only wingers. It's like it's just strong forwards who will poach
Yeah.
goals, which is not really the Brazilian way,
Hmm.
But Joao
Yeah.
Pedro is not that. Joao Pedro is all action,
Yeah.
right? Rafinha, for example, is all
Yeah.
action. Richarlison is all celebration, no action. Because वो celebrate करता है तो goal डिसला होता है. Like that's Richarlison is harmful to any team that he is in. वो celebrate करेगा भाई,
100%.
t-shirt निकालेगा, yellow card लेगा और goal भी डिसला होगा. So that is
Yeah.
it is a liability waiting to happen. But Joao Pedro is a fucking baller, and
Yeah.
him and Cole Palmer together and Morgan Rogers in the mix.
Yeah.
Oof.
And like with obviously with the way Xabi Alonso plays, it's he doesn't like the wingers. His forward players need to be coming in from the wings and into the edge of the boxes, and that is where all the players he has, like Cole Palmer is lethal off of the right, just at
Yeah,
the edge of the box.
yeah,
Rogers is lethal just off the box on the left,
yeah,
and Joao Pedro is obviously lethal. And
yeah.
the only fault in their opening game was obviously Robert Sanchez, and they immediately replaced him with Emi Martinez from
Yeah,
Aston Villa.
yeah. Can
Yeah,
you
so brilliant.
let's think about Emi Martinez for a bit. Finally, the phone rang and he answered, and the deal went through because poor guy has been turking for a move away from Aston Villa for so long.
I think he said bye to the fans a couple of times by now.
It's like they say, मैं जा रहा हूँ, मैं सच में जा रहा हूँ, मैं जा रहा हूँ, मैं अभी बोल रहा हूँ, मैं जा रहा हूँ, मैं जा रहा हूँ. I'm going, huh? One last
How
game, then I'm going.
embarrassing it would be
One
to
last
show
season, then
up
I'm going.
again.
Oh, dude. I also feel happy for Marco Bizon.
Marco
Bizon. He
Bizon.
remember the name Marco Bizon.
He's become a meme before he became a player, man.
Poor guy, he's not even like a young goalkeeper. Like he's one of the older goalkeepers who's there as a backup. Obviously, suddenly he's in the limelight. But yeah, Emi Martinez to Chelsea is a very sensible buy. I
Yeah.
feel like the Chelsea ownership, Bluco, Todd Bowley and company are also learning on the job.
Yeah.
First, it was buy all the young players. सारे young players को उठा दो. अच्छा, that's not how it works. What? Like that's too much. We are overinflating it. Buy old players. Like just get fucking like now they get Jordan Henderson to Chelsea was a fuck.
Yeah.
What?
ले लेते
What?
ले लेते एक्सपीरियंस बोल रहे हैं लोग, ले
हाँ.
लेते
कॉर्पोरेट लाइफ में कितने लोग सीवी पे ऐसा कुछ भी बोल देते हैं. हाँ, माय पैशन इज कोडिंग. लाइक आई कोड फॉर पैशन. आई लव पेंटिंग एंड ऑल. अच्छा ठीक है, किसी ने तो बोला है सीवी पे डाला है उसे कि ही हैज लीडरशिप क्वालिटीज. अच्छा अच्छा
ले लेते.
बट क्या मस्त पैसा कमा रहा है यार जॉर्डन हेंडरसन. क्या करियर ट्रेजेक्टरी है उसका. अमेजिंग. लाइक टू बी सो सक्सेसफुल एट लिवरपूल then
Yeah.
get that fucking amazing Saudi money and
Yeah.
lose all credibility in the process. Get one season of Saudi money out, go to Ajax, fucking get back to European fucking football. देखो देखो मेरे में अभी तक credibility बाकी
Yeah.
है भाई लोग. Just to get a spot at the World Cup and still be in the conversation for the national team, to go to the World Cup as a mascot.
Yeah.
Basically, उसको थ्री लायंस का एक लायन का कॉस्ट्यूम दे दो. दैट वाज जॉर्डन हेंडरसन एट द वर्ल्ड कप. At the World Cup, also, you remember this, right? He played a handful of minutes and then he
Broke his
fractured
hand.
his arm while
Yeah.
celebrating as a substitute.
Yeah, he
He
fell
was out of the
now.
World Cup.
Yeah, fell over the board or something.
Yeah, broke his head out of the World Cup. What a life, dude. He just got to go to America and chill for like a month.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. And now he's at Chelsea, living in fucking West London, lovely part of the city. Like, fucking life is set, bro. Like,
Also, he has
as,
lifted the Premier League and the Champions League as the Liverpool captain. So,
yeah,
I mean, yeah.
crazy stuff. But yes, Emi Martinez is definitely going to be a great addition to the Chelsea squad. And this really makes Chelsea a team to watch out for come the end of the
100%.
season. They
100%.
will make a move for the title. I feel like Chelsea is getting some silverware this season. May not be the Premier League, but
They're in the race. They're definitely going to be an interesting team to watch, and they'll make things interesting in the Premier League also.
yeah,
It's not
yeah.
going to be like last season. It's
Yeah,
just not.
it's definitely not. I feel like Bluco, and this is to the detriment of this show and to other rival team fans. They've made some good moves in the transfer market, including the managerial position. Getting Javi Alonso and
Yeah.
getting all the players that they've got, Morgan Rogers especially, has been a fucking
No, so
beautiful,
like what
beautiful.
I read was that of course there's the Chelsea ownership is a four-part ownership with obviously Todd Bowley also owning a similar percentage, but initially Todd Bowley had lot of administrative say and lot of say in
Hmm.
major decisions, and
Hmm.
at one point he was obviously just playing manager mode with Chelsea.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
soon after the Chelsea board realized that that's not the kind of way to proceed, and now he doesn't have that kind of a say in the transfer dealings of Chelsea.
Yeah.
They've kind of streamlined it more to the people of football to kind of make those footballing decisions, and I think it's
Yeah.
paying off now.
It is paying off. Right, let's talk about Crystal Palace versus Manchester City, and also while we're talking about that, we'll also speak about Spurs versus Newcastle, because there are two players that link City and Spurs. Transfers have been completed. Savinho or Savio and Omar Marmoush both have moved to Spurs, signed and confirmed. The Zerbi was asked about Savinho and how he has now changed his name to Savio.
Hmm.
And De Zerbi said, I got beaten 4-0 in my first 3-0, sorry, in my first game. I don't give a fuck. I mean, he didn't say I don't give a fuck. He said I couldn't care less about what the player wants to be called, Savio, Savinho. It doesn't matter. But again, man, Savio and Marmoush, both wingers, both exciting wingers.
I think Marmoush is going in as the central striker, not as the winger. I think he's going in as the central striker to take the first choice striking spot from Richarlison and Dom Solanke. And I think they even have Mateus Tell, I think, who's more of a winger come striker. I don't know, wherever you want to play him. So I think Marmoush is going in as the striker. And I
That's
think it's a
weird, bro.
brilliant
But
addition.
but is Marmoush a striker? Is he an out and
Yeah.
out like number 9?
Yeah, absolutely. And so he is one of those versatile players who is very effective as a striker. He didn't get the chance to play striker so much because obviously he was an understudy to Erling Haaland
Hmm.
at Manchester City, and it was easier to kind of field him off the left
Hmm.
and behind Haaland as a attacking midfielder. But that's where his versatility kind of comes in, where he can plug in the left, he can plug in as an attacking midfield as a 10, and obviously he is by trade a striker.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be a very good addition. And even Savio, he hit the ground running, scoring
Yeah.
a brilliant shot, cutting from the right side and then hitting it from the left to the first post. Brilliant shot. And that's all he wanted
Yeah.
was game time to kind of show what he can do. And I'm happy. I'm happy they've both gone to Spurs. I'd like to see both of them. I have both of them in my FPL draft team.
Oh
So
wow. देखो भाई लोग, ये ऐसा बंदा जो एफपीएल ड्राफ्ट भी खेलता है, लाइक आई कांट डू ड्राफ्ट वाफ्ट एंड ऑल
It's too much
मैन.
fun.
ब्रो मेन एफपीएल में इतनी लगती है मेरी. आई
नहीं
कांट गेट.
लगती हर जगह ही है यार, बट इट्स फन.
Why do we do this to ourselves, Ronak? We are also United fans. Why do we like to get hurt? What is
Yeah, so
this?
it is a man kind of trying to gain any 1% of happiness कि चलो
Yeah.
यूनाइटेड तो कर रहे हैं बट मेरा एफपीएल टीम का हिस्सा है, तो फक ये भी फक
ये भी fucked है.
है.
So it's shit. But yes, Spurs versus Newcastle is going to be great. But as Yaisler's Newcastle, they
Yeah.
will want to build on the point that they got against Liverpool. They'll want to go forward with that momentum. They know Spurs can be got at. Uh, uh,
And they would obviously be thinking that more than the point they earned against Liverpool, they'd be thinking as 2 points dropped because they were
yeah,
very much in the driving seat.
yeah.
They had Liverpool right where they wanted them, and they got the goals. They were able to hit them on the counter. I love Johan Vissa, who was so instrumental to taking the ball out of their own D, kind of making the plays happen for them. And I just see more of that happening now. Obviously, I think their striker Osula, William Osula, who's a
Hmm.
youngster, I think he got injured in the first game. I'm not very sure. So that'd be an interesting thing if they do have him or they don't, because he gives a very interesting dimension and speed to the team, and obviously he has finishing ability, which you want in a striker. And you
Yeah,
can't really play Elanga as a striker because although he has the pace, he doesn't have the same killer finishing instinct. Although he did just score in game week 1, but that was his first goal for Newcastle in I think about 50 appearances. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the good thing, right? Joe Willock and Anthony Elanga, both players that were not really doing much under Eddie Howe. They started off brightly, but then kind of petered out. And to see both of them on the score sheet
Hmm.
does give Newcastle fans also some hope.
Yeah.
Spurs will want to get Mamouche and Savio
Yeah.
to hit the ground running. On the other side, it's the Mark Gahey derby with Crystal Palace versus Man City. Can Erling Haaland please score? जस्ट फॉर एफपीएल फैंस. वो मेरा कैप्टन है एंड वील गेट टू एफपीएल इन अ बिट, बट वो मेरा कैप्टन है. मेरे को पॉइंट्स की जरूरत है. हालैंड, यू कट योर हेयर, जस्ट स्कोर सम गोल्स नो, प्लीज प्लीज.
Yeah, I mean, like the amount of investment that it takes to keep Haaland in your team, you just can't afford for him to blank 2 games in a row.
देख,
It just
15
becomes
मिलियन,
too
15
much.
मिलियन का प्लेयर है. दैट्स 15 मिलियन जस्ट स्ट्रेट.
15.5.
अच्छा, अभी 0.5 हो गया, बट वो just it's just kept aside. That budget is just gone. वो पैसा
Yeah,
तुम्हारा कभी था ही नहीं. So
yeah,
let's have some returns, please, Erling. Let's please have some returns.
yeah.
So shall we get into FPL then? Because there are a bunch of questions
Absolutely.
about FPL in the chat as well. But before that, there is one lovely question from Gaurav Dole who says, "Is the show going to be a regular occurrence? I hope you keep continuing."
We hope so too,
We hope so too,
Gaurav.
Gaurav. We would honestly, if it were up to us, no, हम ये stream हर रोज करते. We would love for this to be a daily show. पर
Yeah.
यार कोई हमें मतलब पैसे ही नहीं दे रहा है ये करने के लिए. हम फ्री के लिए कर रहे हैं, तो थोड़ा
I
पापी
have
पेट का
daily
सवाल है.
rants. Like, मतलब अगर मेरे को daily stream पे बिठा दिया, मैं तो दूंगा content भर के.
Correct. But yes, Ishan Mehta has said he is sticking with Bruno, Mbumo, and Maguire this week as well. I am ready to get hurt again.
Oh, I mean,
All
see,
right.
to all those people who still owning Bruno and Mbomo Maguire, like myself, uh, at the start of the season when you drafted them in, you had the view of at least the first 3, 4, 5 game weeks, maybe.
Hmm.
Don't remove any of them just yet. I know it was a
Yeah.
very appalling performance in game week 1, and it's easy to kind of snub them into going into game week 2, but it's a great fixture. It's at home, and with FPL, you have to be patient. You kind of need to
Yeah.
have a long view. If you've kept them for at least 3 game weeks, where you've thought of, you keep it for them, and then you take a call where you have accumulated some transfer and you can make some good moves.
Yeah. So I have a question for you, Ronak, for my FPL team, and to start off with, let's talk about this bench boost strategy that you applied in the first game week,
Hmm.
and a lot of players did that. A lot of players played the bench boost in the first game week. Why? Why is
So
because you
I'll
always
tell
think
you.
of these chips to be used later in the season.
So obviously now all the chips are, you get to use them twice, once in the opening half of the season and again in the second half of the season. Bench boost is the one chip that needs a lot of planning.
Hmm.
So now if I hold on to my bench boost chip, I don't use it in the first game week. Then now when I play my wild card, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 game weeks in, somewhere in the back of my brain, I'm thinking that I need to have a decent enough bench for me to play a bench boost in the upcoming weeks to
Hmm.
make the most out of it. So more than me, thinking that the bench boost is a brilliant option in game week one, it was just to kind of get it out of the way.
Right.
And the the against proposal for the bench boost is that you have the least information in game week one
Yeah.
about
So
who's going to
laga to
play.
laga.
So laga to laga. And the idea was that I went a little, my whole team wasn't all stars or anything. It was more about having players that I know are going to play 90 or are
Hmm.
going to start.
Hmm.
And that was the case for my defense as well. Like my entire 15 players were starting players.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing with my bench boost, and it worked brilliantly. I wouldn't have expected it to work as well as it did, but that's just a bonus. I just want to get it out of the way. So now when I play my wild card, I can, field a Bakwas bench and actually put money into my team.
Hmm. Gaurav has actually, I'm cutting this conversation in the middle, but he has said starting se kaun paisa pay karta hai unless you're a very big name. I know Amok is a big name, no intention to hurt anyone's emotion. I'm not a big
Amok is
name
only
dude.
the big name.
I'm not a big name dude. I'm by no means a big name. मेरा मतलब मैं छोटा ही है.
फिल्म डायरेक्टर है भाई, फिल्म डायरेक्टर है.
डायरेक्टर वायरेक्टर नहीं है, मैंने
राइटर
बस
राइटर
लिखा है.
राइटर.
बट दैट्स राइटर को कौन भाव देता है भाई? कोई भाव नहीं देता है, एक्टर को भाव देता है. बट थैंक यू फॉर द काइंड वर्ड्स, आई
पोस्ट
अप्रिशिएट इट.
मूवी में जाके पोस्ट क्रेडिट्स में जाके मैं वेट करता हूँ देखने का मुक्का ना.
No, not a big name, not a big name at all. But to answer the previous question, we will try to be a lot more regular than we are. अच्छा, I'm going to share my FPL team. ठीक है, मैं FPL मेरा टीम एक शेयर कर रहा हूँ because I want to know from Ronak if I should play my bench boost. This is my team. Okay, I'm very happy with James Trafford in goal because he got me 9 points in game week 1 and he was the best performer.
I can't see your bench for some reason.
हाँ, मैं
Like, not
स्क्रॉल
in
करेगा, मैं
entirety.
स्क्रॉल करेगा.
अच्छा, okay.
ठीक है, मेरा एक इशू है ये विक्टर मुनोज, नॉट विक्टर मुनोज, सॉरी,
Daniel Munoz.
Daniel
And
Munoz.
Nottingham Forest are planning to buy him.
He might be
Because-
good at Forest, no?
Yeah,
He
100%.
might like Forest का defense assets are generally very good. So if he moves to Forest, that will be good. तो ये मेरा team. I don't have Maguire, but I have Fernandes and Mbumo, which I'm going to keep. This is my front line: Brian Brobby, Igor Thiago, and Haaland. Which again, I'm not too sure of. I think I should get João Pedro in. तो वो एक transfer है मेरा. But this is my bench: Verbruggen, Aronson, Davis, and Da Silva. It's not a very good bench, but I'm expecting points from Verbruggen. Although Chelsea away, I think Chelsea will
away.
score.
Yeah, it's Chelsea away. It's their first game at Stamford Bridge. They're obviously going to score.
Yeah.
Again, Davis, which is Ipswich against United away. Even United
Yeah,
are going to score.
and Davis was my 4 million option, I think, to make up the numbers.
I mean, if you so even if there was a lot of strategy going into game week 1 into FPL, and a lot of players did that who were more convinced in a game week 2 wildcard, fielded more Coventry players. I think you have Da Silva, but I think that's about it, right? Because game week 2 fixtures, to bench boost in game week 2, you needed Hull and you need Coventry and Hull and players of those sorts. So even having Verbruggen as your second keeper in game week 2 is not the best fixture. So I think, if you want to play it, you can just play it, but then you're wasting it knowingly. Is not even a punt you're trying to play. So I think you should just hold on to your bench boost, and maybe there's still 17-18 more game weeks so you can play it. So there'll definitely be a time where you have a bench even remotely better than that.
Yeah, and for sure I should get João Pedro in, no? João Pedro in or Cole Palmer in?
See, now I am a firm believer of not using any transfers in my first week. Like going into game week 2, I always try to roll my transfer.
I agree too. It's just that मेरा score was below average. Average was 50. I was at 36. तो मैं थोड़ा I'm a little panicking.
Yeah, I get that. And João Pedro, honestly, I don't know why you didn't put him in from the beginning, because He was
I
just
don't know
fluent
either, man.
across every single, all these YouTube creators get their draft teams in, etc. And
Carlo Ancelotti, is that you?
oh shit, Amog Ancelotti.
गौरव ने बोला राइटर ही तो मूवी का आसर है. Yes, that is
Oh,
true. Ishan
nice.
is also saying वो सब छोड़, meaning to ask Amok for a while who all spotted your cameo in the movie. Loved seeing you on the screen. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm loving this. My ego is loving this. But like, if you saw the cameo in the movie, send us a screenshot. I'll repost it. It'll be fun. But yes, coming back to it, Igor Thiago or Cole Palmer. What do you think?
Igor
क्योंकि I
Thiago
feel I
or
have to do a transfer. I
Joao
would love
Pedro
to.
or Cole Palmer?
Joe Pedro or Cole Palmer. I would like to hold on to a transfer, but I feel like I'll have to do it because I need to make up. Because it's either bench boost to make up the points or get a transfer and make up the points. But I'm a little fucked. UK start has been quite bad.
What's your one transfer? You can't be taking minuses this early. So
No. उतना
so
मैं
just Igor
उतना
Thiago
भी
out and Joao Pedro in. Is that what you're thinking?
I'm thinking Brobby out, but I have to see what the prices are.
Exactly. That's literally why I'm asking.
Yeah. Or fuck it, I'll not make a transfer at all. Let this be the team.
Precisely. And
See what
because,
happens.
just by the way, I mean, Igor Thiago is Leeds away, Brobby is Fulham at home. I mean, it's decent
Decent
fixtures, and
fixtures.
when you got them and you had the vision of the first 3 weeks, I think just
No,
take
I
them.
didn't. That's a
I
big
mean,
big
that's
assumption
your
you're making.
bad.
I didn't have the vision. I was like, हाँ, Igor देखो last season अच्छा था, ये भी अच्छा, ये season भी अच्छा खेलेगा. Brian Brobby also, Sunderland has played well. Two slightly cheaper forwards who can get a lot of goals. That's why I went for him. Because I stacked my midfield. No, I got Bruno. एक तो Bruno and Haaland में बहुत सारा budget गया, but I also stacked it with Mbomo. So that's the reason why I had to kind of go a little low budget for forward
But
line.
even I have all three.
Bruno, Mbomo, and Haaland.
Yeah.
Stop rubbing it in, dude. Fuck you. Fuck you.
You just didn't plan for a decent enough.
I did not. But yeah, that's what we have. Any other essential FPL tips you have, Ronak, before we wrap up the stream?
The first thing is obviously the deadlines today at 11 p.m. So, making your teams, locking your teams. There's a big debate on captaincy, whether to back Bruno again. Many people have gotten burnt in game week 1, maybe to back Haaland again burnt in game week 1. But I think those two are still good options. Bruno's at home. We've seen in the seasons past that Bruno at home is a different monster. He can surprise you with goals. He can surprise you with assists. And
अभी तो PFA Player of the Year भी हो गया यार.
Exactly. So I'm sure even he would be waiting to get on the score sheet or waiting to contribute into a win. So I still think those are good options. My only tip would be don't go into something rash. Your opening week, bad results in opening week is really not indicative of anything. It's a long season ahead. Keep hold of your transfers is what my strategy is, to where you can have more information in the weeks upcoming. Maybe in game week 3 where you have 2 transfers, you can make substantial changes to the team. Then maybe you take a -4 hit and you can make 3 good transfers, actually improve your team. Right now we're just reacting to game week 1, and we've seen it in the seasons past that players who really do brilliantly in game week 1 don't always necessarily end up having the similar effects in the upcoming game weeks, in the opening 10 game weeks, so to say. So just hold on to your cards. If you've planned, unlike Amog, if you've planned for opening weeks of the Premier League in your team, I think just hold on to it.
I think this is also the reason why Nathan and Mukesh are not there on the stream, because I'm sure they are also embarrassed about their FPL teams. गौरव ऐसे कौन सा मूवी में अमोक का कैमियो है? मैंने तो मिंत्रा ऐड देखा था अमोक का. This is a treasure hunt now. You have to figure out कौन से मूवी में मेरा कैमियो है. धुरंधर. The answer is धुरंधर Part 2. धुरंधर Part 2 में मेरा कैमियो है. Right, but that is it from us. Thank you so much everybody for watching and listening to the Corner Flag. We'll be back on Monday to discuss all the results that happened from this game week. Until then, it is goodbye from us. Follow us on our socials as well. Corner Flag Pod on Instagram and YouTube as well. Ronak Vikram say on Instagram. Amok Vikram on Instagram. Say bye, Ronak.
Bye, guys.
And it's bye from me.